Welcome to this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have with us Maxim Shapiro, life coach who works with men to help them get directed in their lives. We learn from him how men can reconnect with what truly matters, find fulfillment, and become the heroes of their own stories. Welcome to the show, Maxim.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Welcome to the show. Welcome to India in this online form, Maxim. And I'm sure not just in India, but a lot of people across the globe will benefit from what we are going to talk right now. We'll learn from you about help, how men can find help to find their purpose, which is what you are doing. We'll learn all this from you. But before that, let's understand a bit about your journey, your learning, your journey, your background, so that people know who they are listening to.
Sure. So I live in the States. I live in California, in the Bay Area, and I just turned 50 years old. And for most of my life, I would say I was searching for a purpose or living without purpose. I think I thought that I was living with purpose, but I was fooling myself, honestly. And it took somebody else to come along into my life who cared enough about me to kind of pull my head out of where it was stuck and show me that I was wasting my time and losing time. And so I would say since that happened roughly a little over 8 years ago, I've been living much more purposefully, and every day I connect more to my purpose, and I see how much more there is to do and how much more I'm capable of. And I notice in people around me, I chose specifically to work with men because I am a man. I think I understand men very well. And I can, and there, at least in the United States, there's a lot of services for women, and not as many specifically directed at men. And so I wanted to focus on that part of the population. And I can see in men around me, especially men who are my age or roughly my age, that they're just drifting, and they think that they're just kind of waiting to make the right decision, but in actuality, they're losing time because they don't understand that they're in their own way. So I want to help men get out of their own way and be as productive as they can possibly be.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Maxim. Thank you for that. Now, you say there are too many men who feel lost or just purposeless and without a rudder. How would they know that they are living a purposeless life? How did you realize that you were not living on purpose?
Well, for me, it took another person to come along and hold a mirror up to my face and show me that. And I think I was waiting for that my whole life. I think I knew deep down that I wasn't living with purpose and that I wasn't challenging myself and trying to get everything out of myself that I could. But I didn't know how to pull myself out of the life that I was living and start to live differently. Like I was a fish swimming in water, and I didn't know how to pull myself out of the water, right? To look back at myself and have perspective. I needed somebody else to come along and give me perspective. And I think a lot of men who are living in it, and I'm not saying that these men are useless or they haven't accomplished anything in their lives. A lot of these men have accomplished a lot already. They just don't feel the fulfillment that they want to feel. And rather than it requiring a wholesale rewiring of their lives, honestly, often it just takes a 2% shift in perspective that can be provided by an outside person like a coach to help those men just change direction a little bit. And if you're in a ship and you shift your direction by 2 degrees over an extended period of time, that becomes a very large distance. So that's what we're talking about with a lot of people. I'm not just talking about people who aren't doing anything right and need to change everything. There are a lot of men who have accomplished a lot, who are successful by societal standards, but internally, they just don't feel as fulfilled as they want to feel. So how would they know this? Some of them don't know this. I mean, not on a conscious level. I think subconsciously, if you're not living up to your full potential, if you're not trying to live up to your full potential, you know. I think deep down, you know. And sometimes we just need a little help to see that, and then also to see what else we can do differently.
Absolutely. So you said that there was somebody in your life who did that for you, made you understand. Everyone is not that fortunate, or it does not just work that way for them. And every time they will not have that understanding also to go to a coach. So what should they do? Should they, how did you, who helped you here? And in terms of others, how can they find the right person who can help them understand? And when do they know that, okay, it's time to get a coach if the person is not around them?
Yeah, so the person who helped me is a woman who's still in my life, and I was very fortunate that she came along. I think she was the person that I was looking for my whole life, and she taught me a lot. I think that if you're not fortunate enough to have someone like that, you can do a lot just through intention alone. I think part of the reason that she came along, or that I recognized her when she came along, was I very much was looking for something to help me reach my full potential. And when that someone came along and the things that she was teaching me, I recognized that this is what I've been waiting for my whole life, and I need to follow this path. So I think the best thing people can do is to be searching, is to be striving for that win, to be on that path. Now, if you don't know that you have to be on that path, or if you don't know that anything's wrong, if you don't know that you're unhappy, that's a different story. That can be harder. But there are a lot of men who know that they're unhappy. They just don't know what to do about it. And I think those men are the low-hanging fruit. And if we can reach those men, then those men can in turn, turn around and reach the other men who aren't able to recognize as well.
Absolutely. So what is it that not everyone will be able to meet you? Maybe they will see this episode and they perhaps learn from you. So what some of the things that they can, help, that can help men identify and connect with what truly fulfills them?
I think that a lot of it has to do with urgency and getting in touch with the concept that we're dying and we don't have all the time in the world. I think we're very good at fooling ourselves into thinking that we've got time to make these decisions and we don't have to rush and we'll get to it someday. Well, if you're 45 or 50 years old, someday is already here and you don't have a long time left on this earth. So you need to get at it very quickly. So I think having that sense of urgency is very important. I think for a man, having a sense of ferocity in a good way, like in a healthy way, being connected to the fact that you're a warrior helps. You need to be in touch with that intensity in yourself. And so cultivating that is very helpful. I think a lot of men are afraid of that. Certainly in American society, I can't say as much for the rest of the world, although probably to some extent in other parts of the world also. But I can say certainly in the United States, a lot of men are afraid to be men, or they don't know what it is to be a man, because for the last 40 or 50 years, we just haven't been taught that well.
Right, right. So, in terms of people who come to you for coaching, what is it that that they come to you for? Because I want to understand about purpose. What are the so much of a difficulty for them to find a purpose in their life? They do so many things. Why can't they find a purpose within that? In those two things, so that I can learn from the ground for the audience.
Yeah, so men will come to me if they're drifting in their career, if they're drifting in their marriage or their relationship, if their health is not good. Drifting is typically a common symptom, because by the time you're 45 years old, you've already accomplished a lot in your life. So if you don't feel fulfilled, then you're not going to know what to do, and you're going to kind of be drifting. And it's a very confusing feeling, because on the one hand, you're looking at your life and thinking, well, I've done all these things. I've worked all these years. I've built a family. I've accomplished a lot. Why don't I feel fulfilled to the extent that I wish I did? And so drifting is very common, and it can be in any part of your life. And basically what I do is help men reconnect, or maybe connect for the first time, but really probably reconnect to intensity and purpose and urgency that their authentic self feels. Because a man authentically is a very intense individual, and we need to be able to use that intensity and put it to good. If we don't know how to use it, it's being wasted, or it'll be used poorly. And you see a lot of examples in society of men using their intensity poorly, and we need as many examples as possible of men using their intensity well.
Absolutely. So, how do you teach them? Means, how do they get started? What are their? Do you have any particular one course, one-to-one coaching, or group coaching? Tell us a bit about that, so that people can know. And is it only for US people from anywhere, or people can anywhere connect from anywhere in the world?
I work with people all over the world. I'm happy to work with men anywhere in the world. I'm located in the U.S., but thanks to technology today, I can work with anyone anywhere. My primary language is English. I'm also fluent in Russian. Not quite as good as I am in English, but conversationally, I'm fluent. So I'm happy to work with men all over the world. And typically it's in a one-on-one setting. Sometimes I do group coaching, and probably will be doing more of that. I think group coaching is a very powerful medium. Mostly I'm doing one-on-one, and it's over different periods of time, really as long as the man will want. And when they come to me, my focus is helping them connect with their true self, with their most authentic self, And we use different methods and different exercises to do that. I'm trained as a fundamental life coach, an intuitive life coach. I'm accredited through the International Coaching Federation, which is, at least in the United States, the gold standard, and I believe internationally as well. And I'm PCC level, which is the second highest level that they have. So I have the training fundamentally in coaching and also in intuitive development. So that's what we do.
Absolutely. And what is the best way for them to connect with you?
So they can find me on my website, forwardmotioncoach.ing, forwardmotioncoach.ing. They can find my YouTube channel at Maxim Shapiro, MaximShapiro. On my website, you can set up an appointment with me. The way I work is that the first appointment is we're just getting to know each other, and it's free. And we go through logistics. We get to know each other a little bit. I'll give you some coaching in that appointment, so you'll get to see how I work. I tend to be fairly direct and like to work with people who are okay with that. And men tend to be okay with that, at least if they're connected to their true selves. And then we go from there.
Wonderful. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Thank you.